We have two invest areas, including 95L way out there in the eastern Atlantic. We now have a 90% chance of development over the next 7 days. We'll break down its possible tracks as it heads west, reaching into the Leeward Islands by the time we get into Monday. This is America's Morning Headquarters. I'm meteorologist Kelly Cass alongside meteorologist Lynette Charles and Steph Abrams. Steph, we'll talk about the tropics in just a minute, but first it is all about the severe storms.
It is, and we've had a lot of it this week, actually, and we had multiple wind reports. It's what we were expecting. That was our biggest threat. You can see a couple tornado reports there into North Dakota. Hail as well, and this whole system is going to continue to move east, and boy, oh boy, you can see that spin in the atmosphere. That catches your eye, doesn't it? You don't even have to be trained to see that vorticity spinning around, and that's going to be making its way east and continue to bring weather with it. We also have surface features too, but again, you can even see that spin kind of reflected down to the surface with that mid to upper level energy. But we also have surface boundaries that are helping kick off the storms. Minneapolis, Iowa, these areas, of course, are flooded along the Mississippi, the Missouri. You have the Des Moines River as well. We don't want to see any more rain. And of course, some of these rivers are still on the rise. But here's the thing. A lot of people are just trying to salvage what they have. And this is just adding insult to injury. So it's really, really tough go for us, especially as we expect more storms to develop anywhere from Colorado to Iowa and on into Missouri as well. They could be quite severe. We actually could see hail 2 inches or greater. That's going to be the size of a lime or an egg. And then we also have winds 75 miles an hour or greater. What does that mean? What kind of damage does that do? Well, it can take down trees and it can take down weak buildings. Omaha, we are in that tornado threat. Kansas City, we have a 3. And I know it's on the low end of the scale, but 1 tornado that's over your town, that is a big deal. So watch as our surface feature moves east. There is energy as we head into the evening.
Lots of us from the Northeast to the Mid-Atlantic, more than 34,000 customers when you total all the states. But this is Orange County right here, Saratoga County, north of Albany, also taking a hard hit with a lot of outages there. You've got the Pittsburgh area as well, and even into New Jersey, where New Jersey has more than 13,000 customers without electricity this morning. The good news is the power lines will be restored. The weather is looking fantastic for the day today. You've got sunshine, 77 degrees over Central Park, 76 in Boston, maybe heading out to Cape Cod today. Looks wonderful up toward the Adirondacks and back towards Buffalo, looking pretty warm at 80 degrees with lower humidity. But the humidity goes back up again with that chance for rain. Cold front approaching, moving through the eastern Great Lakes as we head into tomorrow. And then by Sunday, it's all the way over here toward the 95 corridor. There is going to be a chance for more severe weather. Unfortunately, it does include Pittsburgh, where we don't need the rain. As you can see, back towards Cleveland, Columbus, all in that brighter shade of red, where it's possible we get severe. But even the marginal threat extends back into portions of Kentucky, Indiana, and over toward the Capital District. So hopefully the power is restored as we await the next system to kind of move on in. Pittsburgh has a surplus for the year of over ½ a foot. So unfortunately, there is a possibility we see some flash flooding between tomorrow and Sunday. Also having to watch Watertown, Fort Drum, Plattsburgh, New York, looking for that possibility of flooding. Really depends on where the heavier thunderstorms set up. As you can see, they'll be moving through Cleveland to start off our Saturday morning, and then upstate New York through the Finger Lakes region as we head towards 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Leaving us alone for the big cities on the coast, but that will not be the case as we head towards Saturday night. Notice how the storms move through Orange County, Rockland County, right into New York, Philadelphia, possibly hearing the sound of thunder at 1 in the morning on Sunday. Here's a look at Pittsburgh, where the rain will be getting heavier during the morning hours. You can see 9, 10 o'clock. Oranges, not a good thing on this future radar. That indicates some of the heavier downpours coming on through, and then still with us in isolated fashion as we head towards your Saturday evening plans. Now we look at the 95 corridor, where we have the red on the map. This means possible severe storms, including Boston and New York. Heaviest rain, though, certainly going to be right in here, the darker shades of green, where we could see as much as 2 to 3 inches of rain. All right, let's head to the tropics. We've got a lot going on, Steph.
Oh, yes, we do. We have 2 entities to show you here in the Atlantic. This is 95L, and then we have another tropical wave after that. And by the way, look what's coming off of Africa. Even more tropical waves. So this one could be the biggest problem and what we're going to focus in on first. This is 95L, and I think that's going to be Beryl, I think that will be our next named storm, and it is going to barrel right towards the Lesser Antilles as we head into the weekend. 90% chance of development. You see the one behind it, 20% chance. And then the system that we'll talk about as well here over Mexico and Central America, 30% chance of development. So there we go, 90% chance, and this thing is charging right towards the Lesser Antilles for us. Places like Grenada up towards St. Lucia could get hit quite hard, and this thing could make history if it is a Category 2, which it has the possibility. We'll show you. There's the dust coming off of Africa, and this is tucked in just to the south of that. Now, there is a little bit of shear, a little subsidence on the north side of this system, but you're getting some thunderstorms, and you're really starting to see that spin. Jilly, we'll have to check that visible satellite, too, as soon as that pops up. But this is rare. This is going back to 1950. 2 storms in late June have developed here. And when you look at July, not that many more. And by the way, when we talk about hurricanes, the only hurricane we've had here in late June in Lesser Antilles was in 1933. So this could be definitely an exceptional system. There is moisture. It's got the moisture again, a little bit of that subsidence on the north side. All the shear is off to the north. So this thing can strengthen as much as it wants to. And it's going to go right into these warm waters with kind of nothing to stop it. So that could be problematic. High pressure to the north is steering and pushing this right along, and the system behind it, by the way. And the models have been pretty set on this coming right through the Antilles for us and strengthening as it does so. So let's watch our little bundle of energy make its way westbound. You see it really kind of gets its act together. This thing could be named maybe in the next 24 hours. And on Monday, oh, look at that. Could we have maybe Cat 1, Cat 2 here? That's what the models are putting out. Then it goes into the Caribbean. From there, it's a very wide spread. Does it go, towards the Bahamas, or does it go towards Mexico? It's something we'll watch. But let's look at Monday. Monday at 2 a.m., all right? Look at where a majority of those models are. Cat 2. And they go up from there. So Monday's looking like there's a potential for a Category 2 hurricane here to be in the Caribbean. Barrel's the next name. I'm pretty certain it's going to get that. Then we have another area to watch, 30% chance of development with this one as it goes westbound. We're not too concerned about this getting named, but this is always another good example of, even if it doesn't get named, the system is going to be heading westbound, and there will be plenty of moisture associated with it. And Lynette, Mexico just got hit with Alberto and loads of moisture and flooding. It was really devastating there. And now we're throwing more on top of that. So that's pretty heartbreaking to see.
As you're talking, you could look at the radar there as well, seeing that come through on the radar. And you're talking about pressure, you're talking about winds. Well, that's the stuff that you don't necessarily want to deal with when you're doing a little bit of traveling for today as well, right? So we can see what's happening. We do have some thunderstorms moving through Minneapolis at this point, and you're thinking the same areas that we've been dealing with it. And so with that, we have to watch for ongoing river flooding as we head through today and your tomorrow, next week, unfortunately. So we can expect some delays. Make sure you call ahead around Minneapolis, around Chicago, more of the same, and even into Atlanta. You're going to see me put a smile on my face every time I say that, because we need the rain down off towards the south. In terms of Tampa, Miami, we do have some thunderstorm activity there as well. So just again, make sure you call ahead, see if you have any type of delays across the area. Now let's talk a little bit about that turbulence, right? Made your stomach drop just as I said it. Well, we do have, again, where we're seeing some of those thunderstorms moving across the Midwest this morning. So you're going to have to strap in and just make sure you stay calm on that flight. This is what we're working with as of now. And for your today, we have lots of red out there. Well, we do have the potential for, again, some strong to severe thunderstorms. All modes of severe weather will be on the table today. And those showers and thunderstorms going to be bringing some downpours. So again, we have to watch out for that flooding. There it is. Look at this. Minneapolis already dealing. Nothing is really coming up severe at this point, but I really dislike saying that, because when you look at the lightning, yeah, lightning is severe in itself, right? It's dangerous, I should say. That's more accurate. As we look down off towards the south, 20, 85, 75. Kelly, we have some rain. That's my rain dance.
I love it. Yeah, it was so nice to see the ground finally wet. It was so dusty out there in Atlanta. All right, guys, 4th of July coming up this Thursday. Millions of us will be traveling. Time to pack the bags, the coolers, put them in the cars. 60.6 million of us will be traveling by vehicle. You've got 5 typically the afternoon and evening time frame when we see most of the tropical downpours like we typically see here in Florida. It is our rainy season. As you can see, we had a couple of wind reports on the east side of Florida, 40, 50 miles an hour, and even stronger stronger as you make your way up into North Carolina and South Carolina as well, seeing some windy storms blowing through along the coastline. Lots of tropical moisture showing up, especially pointed at the Florida Panhandle and even back toward the Louisiana coastline, where we've had too much rain lately, especially in southwestern Louisiana. We're talking about, 2 to 4 inches of rain just in the near term, and even more than that if you go back the past couple of days. So you've got Cameron as well as Calcasieu Parish and Jefferson Davis Parish in a flash flood warning until 7:30 Central. Radar indicating an additional 1 to 3 inches on top of what we've already seen, which, as I mentioned, anywhere from 2 to 4, and even that orange showing us where we may have picked up even more than that. We've also had some very heavy rain in southeastern Alabama, down into Florida as well. More rain, thunderstorms are going to be possible, especially as we head toward the afternoon. Kind of sea breeze kicking in as we head toward the I-4 corridor, I-75, 95. Pick your interstate, pick your road, and we're going to be dealing with the showers and thunderstorms. And if you are heading out to the beaches, listen for the thunder. Better yet, look for the darker skies. That's usually an indication that we have incoming weather, incoming storms along the East Coast as we head into early Saturday morning. And as you can see, right down across the Gulf Coast, including New Orleans, Biloxi, Gulfport, over toward Mobile Bay, picking up more rain over the next couple of days. The darker the green, the more the rain we will see. This is just an approximation, but some areas could see as much as 2 to 3 inches, especially the northern parts of Florida, southern Georgia. We do need the rain. It's abnormally dry where you see the yellow, but the drought has gotten worse for a place like Atlanta, Cobb County looking at moderate drought, and the drought has also gotten bad in parts of Virginia and the Carolinas. Watch for the lightning, though, of course, when thunder roars, get indoors, and it's going to be mainly the afternoons over the next several days.
On the Weather Channel streaming app. Kelly, hopefully we're not going to get any more video to add to this weekend.
I was going to say, I have friends and family in the Northeast where trees have come down over the past couple of days. We've had some rough weather, people still without power this morning. As we take a look at a place like Philadelphia, yes, we do have storms on the way this weekend. Today's great, though. Get out and just enjoy it. Unfortunately, we're cleaning up after storm damage. Eastern PA, northern New Jersey taking the brunt of it with the power outages. You can see Pennsylvania in first place when it comes to the outages, not the first place you want, right? New Jersey coming in second. Saratoga County, Orange County also seeing a lot of outages this morning after the storms that blew on through. Today looks fabulous from Cape Cod down the Jersey Shore. I got a concert at Jones Beach tomorrow evening. Hopefully the weather holds up for that, but we do have a front on the way. And between the cold front and the warm front, that means the warmth, the moisture will be back on the increase, and therefore the chance to get some stronger thunderstorms to go. So we're talking about the eastern Great Lakes tomorrow, including places like Cleveland, Detroit, you're in that marginal threat, Buffalo down to Pittsburgh. Severe weather is possible tomorrow, but really anywhere in that lighter shade of red from upstate New York all the way down into Kentucky, it is a possibility that we see some damaging winds, and we can't rule out tornadoes either. This is our Torcon. The higher the number, the higher the threat for tornadoes. We've got a Torcon 3 in the red, including Erie down to Pittsburgh, and then a Torcon 2 surrounding that. So that means isolated tornadoes cannot be ruled out. Flooding is also going to be a possibility. A place like Pittsburgh, we have a surplus for the year of over ½ foot. We've also been inundated with rain across upstate New York, so flooding may happen rather easily, especially when you get thunderstorms. We get bigger rainfall rates with the thunder and lightning. So we're watching Detroit over towards Cleveland as we begin the day on Saturday, heading out to farmers markets around the Pittsburgh area, Erie. We see those storms moving through at about 9 o'clock. It's going to be Niagara Falls over toward the Adirondacks as we head into the early afternoon hours of Saturday. Northeast coast, the 95 corridor looking good until Saturday night and certainly into the second half of the weekend. That's when we get our chance for the severe weather as that energy and instability will be rising. Here is a look at Pittsburgh, where we do have the showers kind of starting our day, but the worst storms will be coming through with the daytime heating. It's going to be later in the morning into midday, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, lunchtime, basically, and then those storms become more isolated in fashion as we head towards tomorrow night. As you can see, the 95 corridor, it's your turn on Sunday. We've got anywhere from Portland, Boston, down to New York, Philly, even into our nation's capital where it's possible. We see more severe weather, therefore more power outages will be possible. And the flooding, we can't, rule that out either. 2 to 3 inches, that's a lot of rain in upstate New York, where a place like Albany has had too much rain, about 3-inch surplus, I believe, and down into Pennsylvania, anywhere from 1 to 2 inches of rain. New York City, again, it's going to be Saturday night plans into Sunday when we see the worst of our weather come through. Steph?
Well, still ahead on America's Morning Headquarters, rounds of heavy rain causing